Hello and welcome to the District. I am Joan Garner, Fulton County Commissioner for District 4. The Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation, Inc. was created in 1979 through the joint efforts of the Atlanta Legal Aid Society, the Atlanta Bar Association, the Atlanta Council of Young Lawyers, and the Gate City Bar Association to offer lawyers an opportunity to provide civil legal representation for the poor. Since then, AVLF has provided representation for indigent clients through the efforts of volunteer private attorneys, its student clinical program, and various outreach programs. Prominent members of the Atlanta legal community recognized two very important things. First, no matter how many excellent lawyers Atlanta Legal Aid and other service organizations added to their staffs, it would never be enough to meet the need for legal assistance to low-income citizens of Fulton County, and that it is up to the private bar to cover as much of the gap as possible. On today's show, we will be joined by Mr. Martin Ellen, Executive Director, and Ms. Kenesha Wade, Paralegal of the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation. We have a great show planned. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the District. We have a great show planned for you today. I am Joan Garner, your Fulton County Commissioner for District 4. Joining us today is Mr. Martin Ellen, Executive Director, and Ms. Kenesha Wade, Paralegal at the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation. Martin and Kenesha, welcome to the District.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here today. So Martin, I'll start the questioning off with you today. So tell us about the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation and why does our community need such an organization?
Commissioner, suppose you have a legal problem. What do? You might talk to friends, you might look on the internet if you have access, but you pretty quickly find out the best way to address your legal issues or to find out your options is to have a lawyer. But what if you're poor and you can't afford one of the thousands of lawyers in our community? In earlier years, maybe you went to the Atlanta Legal Aid Society, a wonderful organization, and we're glad to have such a terrific legal aid organization in our city, but they are frequently overwhelmed and cannot take care of every problem. So the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation exists first to make sure that those who are poor, can't afford lawyers, still have an option. They can call us and get, if the case is something we can help them with, we're going to connect them to a lawyer. The second reason the community needs us is because this is a very generous legal community. Every lawyer graduates knowing they're going to give some part of their time and their talent back to the community. But many don't know how to do that. Where do I, if I'm a practicing lawyer who wants to do pro bono work, where do I connect to someone who needs my talents? AVLF exists to connect that client and that attorney. We are unique in the community, and we have been here for over 35 years supporting and loving the city and county.
Great, thank you, Martin. Kenesha, my next question is for you. So tell us, who are your clients and how does one qualify for your program?
Well, Commissioner, in most cases, our clients are residents of Fulton and Clayton County. They're individuals who live at or below 200% of the poverty level. And we serve clients who are eligible for our services with a different range of legal issues. So those issues are landlord-tenant issues. They can range from illegal evictions that have been carried out by an apartment complex or a private owner to evictions filed in magistrate court, repairs and conditions issues, wage claims issues, tenant-related debts, bankruptcies, and we also assist individuals who need assistance seeking a temporary protective order. In order to qualify for our services, a resident of Fulton or Clayton County who have one of the issues that I just listed would just need to contact our offices between Mondays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And once they do that, they would be screened for our services, and we would need to determine if they are income eligible for the services that we offer. And then we would also need to just gather a clear and accurate description of the legal issue that they're facing. And then that write-up is actually passed over to one of our staff attorney who reviews it to determine if it's actually a case that we can assist with. And then persons who need assistance with a temporary protective order would need to walk into the Safe Families office that's located in the Fulton County Courthouse for screening.
Great. So, there's been a lot of coverage lately and a lot of conversations about the richest and the poorest of those in our society. And in Georgia, the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. And even if you are lucky enough to get a full-time job at that amount, you're still looking at bringing home $1,247 a month. We know that's not enough to really raise a family on. So what role can private lawyers in the Atlanta legal community play in helping to bridge that gap?
Well, in my opinion, attorneys that give of their time, talents, and efforts actually ensure that low-income residents of Atlanta have access to a legal advocate. There's actually a percentage of our clients that have difficulty articulating the legal issue that they're facing, and that same percentage are actually intimidated by the legal system. So the fact that an attorney is willing to volunteer their time actually ensures that an individual who doesn't have the financial means to hire an attorney has access to legal representation when they need it the most.
So what kind of cases do you accept, and how do those cases become a priority?
Well, Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation actually has an initiative to assist with providing stable housing and safe families. So the cases that we assist with, like I stated, are landlord-tenant issues, wage claims, bankruptcies, temporary protective orders. And those cases have been identified as priorities for our clients because the cases themselves actually affect our clients' ability to sustain and maintain stable housing and a safe environment for their families.
Okay, so Martin, we talked about the importance of having an organization like AVLF working in Fulton County. So could you tell us about the AVLF Safe Families Office and how many clients a year does one see in that particular office?
My pleasure. I know you know this very well because you've been very supportive. Fulton County has the state's only courthouse-based walk-in clinic to address the problems of intimate partner violence, not strangers. But if it's intimate partner and there has been some reason for a woman, usually, not always a woman, but a woman to feel like she is in danger or has already been injured, walk into the courthouse, you'll be directed to the Safe Families office, where we and a group called Partnership Against Domestic Violence together staff the office. People can get safety planning and they can get legal planning. We sit down with these people and talk through the concerns, help them understand what the options are, and if they decide they would like to try to get a protective order, we will help them prepare a petition and present them that day to a judge. About 85% of the people who come into our office leave that day with a 30-day protective order. Now, the law says if you want an extension of that for 12 months, you have to come back and face your alleged abuser in a contested hearing. About 2,000 people a year walk into that Safe Families office, and we end up, as I mentioned, representing a large number of them. And it's not just these women, it's their children as well who need the protection. So the whole family will be given protection when it's appropriate. There are hundreds of lawyers involved in representing hundreds of cases a year for this population. May I also mention one interesting piece about this? The research suggests the single most important factor in whether an abused person returns to their abuser is whether they get effective legal assistance the first time they try. So we're very careful to make sure when someone comes to see us that we give them every opportunity to take advantage of having trained, qualified lawyers to help them make difficult decisions.
Great. Thank you very much, Martin. So when we return, we'll continue our discussion about the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation with Martin Ellen and Kanisha Wade. You are watching The District. Stay tuned, there's more to come. Welcome back to The District, everyone. I am Joan Garner, Fulton County Commissioner for District 4. If you just tuned into the show, we are having a discussion about the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation with Mr. Marty Ellen, Executive Director, and Ms. Kanisha Wade, Paralegal. Martin, before the break, we were talking about the AVLF Safe Families program. Could you explain what are the most pressing legal needs of women leaving violent relationships, and how is AVLF helping to meet those needs?
Well, the women need to feel safe. And how they get that sense of safety is crucial to how we support them. First, there's no asset test or income test with this part of the program. Anyone who walks into the Safe Families office, there are no questions other than, are you safe? What happened? And how may we help you address those? People are frequently disconnected from their resources. They are threatened at their jobs. They feel all the parts of their life beginning to unravel because they can't be safe in their home or their office or with their families. And it undermines everything that they are about in the life that they would like to lead. So first, what we do is make sure that they know what options they have. If they need to leave right now without their belongings, we can help with that. There are shelters with whom we are connected through PADV, the Partnership Against Domestic Violence, and other alternative options we have to get people out of a dangerously violent situation. If they can stay, but they need a protective order, then we want to work very hard to make sure they understand what their legal options are, what will be asked of them by a judge to whom they are making a petition for a protective order, and what it may mean for them if they get the protective order. Because truthfully, Commissioner, that's frequently the most dangerous time. If they go home to a spouse, a partner, or even if they are not living with someone and someone finds out that the police will come if they come within 100 yards of the house, things frequently go badly. So we want to make sure from now, for the next 30 days, and then beyond, these people who are always feeling like the earth is crumbling beneath them know what their options are. Do they have people on whom they can rely? Do they have resources on which they can call? Do they know what the procedures are in case they are threatened again? Do they keep a phone with them at all times so they can make an instant call because they can't always anticipate when someone's going to be? These are the kind of things we talk to people about and make sure that they have the best understanding. We can't make decisions for them about what's in their best interest, but we can help bring all of the factors to bear and let them make a decision that they think is in their best interest and that of their children.
Great, thank you. So, Kanisha, before the break, Martin was explaining the overall work of the Volunteer Lawyers Foundation. Right. So, based upon that conversation, we understand that some cases are more challenging than others. Could you tell us what kinds of cases does the AVLF Saturday Lawyers Program accept, and then why those particular cases?
Sure. Well, Commissioner, generally the cases that we accept at our Saturday Lawyer Program are actually a large amount of landlord-tenant issues. Those issues that we see on Saturday can range from tenant-related debts to repairs and conditions issues. We also see individuals who have not been paid for work performed or they've been paid under the minimum wage. And those cases are reviewed and accepted on a Saturday because the cases themselves need additional screening by an attorney to determine the strength of the case and also to determine the best legal way to proceed that can bring about the most efficient and fastest benefit for the client.
And so why these cases on a Saturday as opposed to on a regular weekday?
Well, Most of our clients, like you stated earlier, are working. They're working people. So normally they work through the week. So we try to accommodate them by having a Saturday lawyer program where they can come on a Saturday so they won't have to take off time from work.
So, Martin, as we all know, attorney's fees and legal fees can be a challenge for families living on a low to fixed income as well as many others. So, finances alone can deter people from seeking out professional help when they really need it. Can you explain to us, why do lawyers participate in a pro bono program?
I'm so proud of this legal community. My pleasure to tell you. I don't know too many professions where you graduate from your graduate school knowing that part of your obligation is to give back to a community. Every law school in America promotes this notion. Plus, we understand as lawyers that we have lots of special opportunities given you almost uniquely to the profession. We're a self-policing profession, and we're allowed, when we pass the bar, to speak in places that non-lawyers are not. We're responsible for paying attention to and upholding the law, and this is a society that is based on law, and you put all that together, and we know that part of the responsibility is to make sure that if in fact there's true justice, everyone has access to it. In fact, if everyone can't access justice, it isn't a very deep or responsible system. Now in Atlanta and in Fulton County, you have a lot of lawyers. Most of the state's lawyers are located somewhere in this county or close by. And it has given us the opportunity to be engaged in our community. There are lawyers on most of the professional boards and most of the organizations, partly because they know that it's important to their business, but also partly because they know it's important to their community. I live here. I work here. I don't want Fulton County just to be a place I drive through on my way to work. And most of the people that I know feel exactly that way. We're part of the responsibility to raise this community.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question. You've probably just answered it, but is the professional legal community supportive of AVLF?
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Look, we get between 600 and 800 lawyers every year who give of their time and their talent. They know they're never going to get paid for it. They're probably going to get a hug, which they might not get from their paying clients, and they like. But in terms of recovering anything, it's only the satisfaction of knowing that they have participated in building our community. So almost every law firm in this city has some presence and connection with the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation.
So that brings me to my next question. Is AVLF the only organization in Atlanta offering free legal assistance?
It's not. Kanisha and I work with a number of sister organizations, and it's a seamless group. We really work very hard to support each other, share information with each other, refer to each other, because we don't do any criminal work, for instance. Someone calls us with a criminal problem, we have to know that they might go to the Georgia Justice Project. If they have an immigration problem or they need a visa, well, then there's the Georgia Asylum and Immigration Network. There's the Georgia Law Center for the Homeless. There are about 8 or 10 different organizations with whom we work regularly because we need this mutual support in order to touch even a percentage of the unmet civil legal needs in our community.
Well, thank you. This has been a lot of information. Is there anything else that we should know, that our audience should know about AVLF?
Kanisha?
Well, I would say that we have a great staff of people. Everyone is dedicated to the work that they do. Everyone is willing to go above and beyond to assist, or if we can't assist, like Marty stated, refer you to an organization that can. We all are very good at the work that we do. We all come to work happy and delighted to do the work that we do every day. And the majority of our clients have a great end result, and they're happy with the services that they receive.
Commissioner, we get about 10,000 phone calls a year. And we hope that the people who are watching this show, if they have a question, will call us. It's why we're here. And we can't always offer direct legal services to everyone, but we try very hard to make sure that we are the last phone call people make, because they'll get something of value, some counsel, some advocacy, something that will help them know how to address their problems.
So if someone needs help, how would they be in contact with your office?
Well, they can contact our office. Our telephone number is 404-521-0790. We screen Mondays through Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. And you contact us and we'll take it from there.
And we have a website.
We do have a website. Our website is avlf.org. And you can check the website and it gives you more information on what we do and how we do it.
Well, Martin and Kanisha, we have gotten a wealth of information today about AVLF. I thank you both for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us, Commissioner.
When we return, I will share my closing thoughts. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the District. I am Joan Garner, Fulton County Commissioner for District 4. Today we discuss the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation with Mr. Martin Ellen, Executive Director, and Ms. Kanisha Wade, Paralegal. Lawyers in private practice recognized that every attorney has an obligation to promote equal access to justice, and that participation in pro bono work not only gives necessary help to clients in need, but also promotes the highest goals of the legal profession. The Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation develops and coordinates programs that provide legal representation, education, and advocacy for at-risk, low-income individuals by tapping the enthusiasm and commitment of volunteer legal professionals to address the unmet civil legal needs in the Atlanta community. I am excited about the work they are doing to build healthy, vibrant communities and look forward to playing a significant role for years to come. I want to thank my guests for the helpful information they provided us today, and thank you for joining us on the District. That's our show for today. Feel free to contact my District 4 office anytime by calling us at 404-612-8226. You can email us at district4@fultoncountyga.gov, tweet with us at ComJoanGarner, and of course, friend us on Facebook. Until we meet again, I am District 4 Fulton County Commissioner Joan Garner. Thanks for watching The District.